I'm Alexis, Soave. I work part-time for Villanova Construction, and I just graduated Lawrence Tech with a civil engineering degree. The type of engineering, so like the foundations of buildings and the steel structures of buildings, like I'm the one who would design it, and same with roadways and like transportation and bridges and stuff like that. That's like the main part of it. Or anytime you build a dam or like there's water erosion kind of things, like we're the ones who make sure that the ground doesn't just move underneath the building. So my dad's, my no-nos, my dad's dad started a general contracting business. So I grew up in construction from when I was little. And I wanted to go into architecture because I wanted to like design the building. And then I realized that I liked making sure that the building stood up more so than what the design of the building was. So I switched. My dad would make comments about engineering every once in a while. And then in high school, I took a lot of drafting classes, which correlate a lot to engineering. And my teacher there actually like pushed me more and more towards it. So like I started in intro drafting, went to advanced, and then he was like, "You're doing really good." And he just kind of set me in a computer room and was like, "Here's AutoCAD," and I just got to mess around. It's been up and down, honestly. What you learn in college and what's in the real world are two totally different things for the most part. Like you learn the theory, and I'm glad that my college taught me some of the practice, but my internships and working with my dad's company have definitely been better learning experiences for the most part. Not to knock LTU, but like it's a lot harder when you're just learning the equations and you don't know what the equations mean. So when I started my internship, I was able to use my materials classes theory and put it into practice. Just get a lot of variables in classes, and then when you're in the real world, they're like, "Oh, this letter means this, and that's why you have to use it this way." And like learning the why is kind of easier than just being like, "This is how it is." I really like sitting on my own and playing with AutoCAD, like putting in music in and just kind of zoning out and doing what I do. My favorite thing to do is like drawing floor plans, honestly, even though I told you I'm not going into architecture. But so like an owner or something would give me like the building that they're proposing to design. So like I'd have the dimensions of a big building, then they gut it, and then they tell me what size rooms they want, and I get to configure where those rooms and where like the best placement for the utilities would be.
Okay.
The most recent one that I did from like start to finish was for family members. They started a salt spa thing.
Okay.
So I got to design that. So like they have different rooms, like a yoga room, a lounge room and stuff. They told me the dimensions, and then I just like fit it into the square that they already had. So I want to go work at a bigger company, like outside of my dad's. I want to learn the trade a little better, and I want to be able to expand and grow on that. But eventually I want to come back and help my dad out. So when he retires, there's some more of us.
So you want to take on the family business.
Yeah.
So you want to be CEO then.
Yeah. You build some tough skin, and you do it real quick. Either you're gonna make it or you're not. So especially with my internship, I was sent out on sites as a testing engineer, and most of the crews are male dominated. I think I met like maybe 2 laborers that were females the entire time. And they don't want to trust you. Like I was young, I didn't have my degree yet.
Yeah.
They didn't believe me on my experience with my dad's company, and I'm a female. So why are they gonna take direction from me? With like proving myself, like being like, I know what I'm talking about and explaining it to them was definitely part of it. I wasn't going to take their shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to degrade me and stuff, then I'm going to let you know that that isn't right. Yeah. And there was a couple instances where there was my supervisor involved and the owner of those construction companies also involved. So it's like really showing that like you're not taking anything, you're standing your ground, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Probably the sexism is probably the biggest part. Like actual like school and like knowledge wise, as long as you put the time and effort in, you can pretty much know it. But like people not believing in you or like making it harder for you to just move forward in schooling, it's been pretty difficult. I've had a higher up at my school who basically told me that I wasn't going to make it in my field, which pushed me to do a lot harder in this last year. And it was really just that he has to sign my diploma. Yeah. Like that was my thing. That's my revenge is, I'm not gonna say anything to you, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna prove you wrong and you have to sign it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been my school goal. Yeah. It's like I've put up with his stuff for way too long. Wow. It's kind of what I've wanted my whole life though. Like, I knew from a young age that like I wanted to go into the construction like field. In high school, it changed back and forth between architecture and engineering. I got pushed a little further, but I knew that eventually I wanted my engineering stamp. That takes a lot of work, and if you quit early, like there's no way you're gonna get it done.
Yeah.
So, like putting in the time and effort, even though it took me a little longer for my bachelor's, like I know that I could work under another engineer, and I know that I have the experience and knowledge to do so. Getting my master's be tough, but I'll do it, and I think it'll be okay. But it's what I wanted. So I initially actually like engineering. I started in architectural engineering in college, and that was because I wanted to do green engineering, which is helping the environment in everything that we do. So when you do construction, there's a lot of material that just kind of goes in the trash when you can recycle it. And that's like learning how to recycle your materials, learning how to get recycled materials, how to be more efficient with your machines and stuff like that. And then there's also like the aspect of like setting up solar panels and like those kind of things for other companies and like that kind of stuff. There's like thermal technology, which has a lot to do with civil engineering because thermal technology goes underneath the ground. So it'd go underneath the building and it uses the Earth's heat to help heat the building, to make it so that the world doesn't die.
Wow.